What is up, guys? I really wanted to talk about abusing OP champs to climb, just like how it kind of seems so much easier to do that in Season 6. This might be a little bit of a rant video, but not properly. A lot of my videos this season have been about picks and stuff, and it's literally just because they mean a lot more now in an actual game. So this video, we're going to go over why they're stronger in this season, but also how we can abuse the OP champions. So like this video if you do, dislike it if you don't, and let me know what you guys think or how you're climbing in the comments. So I'm sure we can all think of a few champions that are on the busted side, just a little bit. Have you recently felt like you just get beat by that champion instead of the player playing them? Like the player isn't really much better than you, but the champ they're playing let them do too much damage or is just kind of too difficult to deal with? That is actually a legit thing, by the way. Sure, there are always ways to beat them, but sometimes it just genuinely feels like they won the pick ban phase of a game and there isn't a whole lot you can do. I've been playing this game for 5 years now, and I've always thought the good players can win with any champion. It doesn't matter, and you should play whatever you're good with to climb. That's still true, but it is harder now. This season it feels less rewarding for playing off meta, and OP picks are just better. It's a shame, but the whole game has become a lot more meta focused than it normally is. The bans are mostly the same every single game. The same champions are being picked in a lot of games, and there is a reason they're strong and it's easier to win a game with them. I don't know about you guys, but I do feel a bit more forced to play what's OP this season rather than what I want to play. I haven't played much Vayne, Caitlyn or Jinx so far, even though I love them, just because I'd get dumped on harder than I normally would have. I could play them and I could win for sure, but it'd definitely be a lot easier playing Lucian or Jhin, so it's kind of like, why go through the extra hassle? Now before we go into why they're better in Season 6, if you're looking for some of that sweet LP on the cheap, let's go over actually how you abuse an OP pick. Saying that out loud definitely made me sound like an LP dealer or something, but yeah, so there are a few keys to abusing them. The main thing is just to find out their power points, what makes them OP. You can't just pick something and be like, okay, this has a really high win rate, so I'm gonna win. Maybe if you pick Echo, you can do that, but otherwise that is not how it works. Focus on that one thing you do better than everyone else. So like for Echo, it's dueling power, Kindred, the damage and team fighting, Jhin, your ultimate damage and crits, or Soraka, the healing. Using that stuff properly will give you a lead because it's stronger than other champions' abilities. You group with the lead, you force stuff, which is easier this season, and you snowball. I recently picked up Kindred more because of just how strong she is. Right now it's her passive and Runa's combo that is a really big thing. I kind of just adjusted my playstyle to making sure I got those marked camps and I'd gank as much as I could. That's literally all it takes. You find out why they're OP, you focus on that, you use it and win. Most of you will have noticed this, but OP champions tend to be very broken when they get fed, right? Well, actually most champions are broken when they're fed. It's just easier for the OP ones to get fed in the first place because of their natural kit strength. That is the difference. Now the why this is easier this season is kind of a few things, but the early game definitely means more than it has done, and that is a big one. OP picks in general tend to be super strong in lane or mid game or both. They have a natural advantage in their kit that they use to get ahead. There are a few exceptions to this, but in general, like most OP picks spike very hard after 1 or 2 items. It's the mid game power where they're stronger than everyone else with their base damage or their abilities. Mid game you do not have as many items, so the actual champion means more. Damage values like base damage, abilities, what each champion can do means way more. Once again, I've made an amazing diagram to explain early game versus late game. So we've said most OP picks tend to be stronger mid game than others, so that's going to be their green zone, their strongest part. Normal picks tend to either snowball really hard before or just kind of come back in late game where items mean more and the champions are on a little bit more of a level playing field. This is kind of why it's hard. You have to survive the first 2 phases of the game to reach the stage where you're going to be even and stronger. It's kind of like 2 cars if they're racing. Our OP car has an acceleration of 20 but a top speed of 80, and normal car has an acceleration of 10 but a top speed of 100. The OP car will shoot ahead to start with, and a normal car will slowly be catching up until the end where he eventually will overtake. It's just hard in general playing against OP champions anyway, because in theory they should be stronger than you. Most people fall behind, you probably die a few times, and it's harder to play from behind. There is less time to bounce back in Season 6. Towers and death timers are the biggest culprit of that problem right now. I know next patch in 6.9 death timers are supposed to be or maybe being reduced a bit, but these are the two biggest reasons OP champions are better right now. We get that lead and we can force people away from towers, we win mid-game fights, and then we can get more from those fights afterwards. These OP champs have always been good at winning mid-game fights. It doesn't matter what season it is because they have this natural kit strength that plays a bigger part when everyone has fewer items. The difference before was that yes, you could win those fights, but the enemy team had more time to stabilize the game and get back into the game. Now League is way less forgiving. If you lose a fight mid-game, you'll lose at least one tower, maybe two, maybe three, who knows, and it just grows their lead even more. Now we have that champion who is already strong with their kit, right, who's kind of a level above the others, who might be a little bit fed already, and now he has all this extra tower gold to build even more items, and it just gets worse. Without trying to be a dick, I think Riot screwed up this season a little bit with this. I don't think it's really Riot's balanced team either, or not the champion specific team. Small changes are made worse by the actual game environment as a whole. The game is way more snowbally and more early to mid game focused. That is where OP picks shine. That is where we are seeing higher win rates with OP champs and lower ones with average off meta picks. If they gave us back our proper towers and shorter death timers, these overpowered champions will be a lot less impactful and the entire game would be a little bit more balanced as a whole. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's kind of a bit different, but I wanted to talk about this and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, comment, share, but for now, let's go to the robots.